pindot yung auto-rotate.
What is up, fellow bench warmers?
Start.
Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? It's week 1, Judgment Day. How was your week in fantasy? Hope you won your leagues. And hope even if you lost, I hope it wasn't a blowout, because it's quite discouraging when you get a blowout loss on the first week, like a 1-8 or a 0-9 loss, right? My name is JJT, and with us, Commish. Commish, how was your leagues
Okay,
today?
we started well so far. We're lucky with our scheduling. We said that week 1 has few games compared to usual weeks, so
Yeah.
don't be afraid or don't be panicked when you lose your first week, because there were injuries. Drew, Bradley Beal, Jalen Brown today. So if you miss those players, they probably only had 2 games this week. If you missed one of their game, they're just down to 1 game. That's too small a sample size to really know if your team is weak or not.
Yeah, so
My opinion.
don't panic. If you lose the first week, you have to assess why you lost. Like,
Maybe
players might have
schedule.
been injured, might
Yeah.
have gotten injured, or maybe the schedule, or it's hard to gauge. Or maybe it was a bad matchup. Like, players from your opponent outperformed their rankings, or performed way too well, or way too well.
For instance, in one of our leagues, I beat my opponent in blocks when he had Giannis, Gobert. I think his team is really a punt block, blocks team, not punt blocks. A really strong team in blocks, and I beat him with Julius Randle having 7 blocks this week. So those are things that are fluky. So don't read too much into those things, because those will even out eventually.
And it's the first week, and like I said, some players are overperforming their standard the expectations we have, and talking about overperforming players, like Commish wrote in our Facebook page that PG-13 was week 1's number 1 player.
Yeah. Well,
who would have thought, right?
That's overperforming, but I think that's not far off. I think he's still gonna be top 5 or top 10, so that's not far off. The others in that list, let's
run through some of those players. Mccollum.
That is surprising. How about you? Are you surprised?
Well, number 2 is surprising, obviously. I mean, who would have Jokic, we felt could have been, top 5 here.
He's number 6. Jokic is 6. So it's not far.
Not far, but still, for your top pick, you were hoping at least the top 5 for him. But CJ McCollum, and you're hoping he won't be beat by CJ McCollum, or maybe the number 4 guy, which is Miles Bridges, right?
Your guy. That's your guy. How many Miles Bridges do you have? I
don't know. All my Miles Bridges leagues, I think I won all those leagues because of this guy. But even before the season, I was a little bit high on him. I think we talked about him when we talked about the undervalued players. With the value that we picked Miles Bridges, of course, I don't expect him to stay at 4 or even top 10. But I think top 30, 40, or even 50 is good enough value, considering we picked top 100, right?
Top 50 to I was saying top 60 for him is already good for Miles Bridges. Top 60 is already good. Top 20, 30, 40. If that happens, you have to count your lucky stars, Jeremy, because remember, there's no Terry Rozier yet.
Yep.
Terry Rozier will take a lot of the points and everything, but what I'm happy about is the efficiency remains to be there. The field goal, free throw, 3-point percentages are still good.
Yep.
And if that continues, last year he was top 80. So I think if that continues, he's easily top 80. The difference here is the steals.
And the difference from last year he started off slow. He wasn't featured in some of the games because early on LaMelo was coming off the bench, right? We talked about the chemistry between Miles and LaMelo. Now LaMelo starting, and I feel that they'll continue to start Miles with that duo there. And like you said, the efficiency is really good, and that's what I really like. He's not trigger happy from threes, so he won't chuck up threes anytime he wants. So, and he has lots of shots within the paint, right? Driving,
alley-oops,
cutting, alley-oop dunks, right? Or fast breaks. So I think the percentages were
if he averages 0.9 steals, if he can average 1.5 to 1.7 steals this year, top 60 is easily attainable for him. So that should be the target of owners. That happens.
And you can also, I guess these players in the ranks can be a sell high candidate, right? Especially players like Miles Bridges who were drafted outside of the top 100, especially if there are managers who feel they can outperform that. Julius Randle is number 8.
A little shocked also.
Because it's 8. But Ja Morant is number 10 currently.
Yeah.
And he has played really well.
Yeah, let's talk about Ja.
In fairness though, last year, he started off really well. He played really well early on. It was after the injury that slowed him down really. The efficiencies weren't there.
True.
But when he started similar, well, a little this year is way better because he's averaging 30?
33, I think.
Yep.
33 or 34. Today,
last year he wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing that.
He had 40 and 10 today. 40 points, 10 assists. He had 5 threes, I think, and 9 out of 11 from the free throw line. He had 3 steals. So, what we were saying before the season started was he was outside 150 last year. So, if you have improvements here and there, maybe he gets to top 100, top 80, but not top 50. But I've been watching his games. He's been impressive. The drives, the moves, really, really good. And the shooting has been there. So, what do I think? I think top 50, I think is doable. The efficiency though, he's number 10. Am I correct right now? It's because his field goal, I think, is super high. His field goal is super high, above 50%. And I don't think that is necessarily going to continue. But as long as it's around 45%, he's still gonna be good. He's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I don't think you drafted Ja Morant for the field goal efficiency. I mean, this is a big bonus that he's shooting really well for your team, but not.
Well, he's not this good. Meaning, he's not that good.
Yeah, so it's a bonus that he's been this good this early. Hopefully, he's able to continue, and he's a bit more controlled, I guess. When I watched the game a while ago, he was a bit more controlled. Before, when he drives, he's gonna shoot it or just try to out dunk or out jump everyone. But now he's more controlled.
Did you see one of his play a while ago? It was like
the layup, the reverse layup.
The reverse. I mean, that's
even Jordan-esque move.
I understand the Ja Morant owners really. You pick him because we like to watch him. We like the excitement. Sometimes it's like that in fantasy. So it's bonus that he's now producing fantasy wise also, not just in real life. Yep. So that's good.
Al Horford is number 13.
It's another guy, another feel good guy of ours.
Do you think he can sustain? Well, the thing is, I think the stats, as long as he plays. Of course, it won't be this good, but he's going to be very serviceable. I think he's going to be a good low-end center that that can be useful in many teams. The only question mark for me is that the health, of course. This guy is not the youngest of centers, right?
I think will he sustain? Of course, not top 13, of course. But let's not talk about that. That's obvious. He's not going to be that. He's not going to do this. The question maybe is he better than what we expected him to be, which was around 90, 80, 90, 100? I think possibly, yes, but not way higher. But I could say maybe I would trust him more than Mo Bamba, for example. I'll trust him more than Mo Bamba because he has track record and both of them are injury prone. both of them can shoot the 3-pointers here and there, but Al Horford has more avenues to help you.
Yeah, he can pass,
right?
He can steal. I mean, Bamba is more of a threes, points, and the blocks kind of guy, and not much else, right? Or maybe the rebounding a little bit, but yeah.
For sure, it's better than your guy.
Who?
Chris Boucher.
Oh.
For sure.
I
mean, at the very least. But we talked about Isaiah Stewart also yesterday. So the Stewart or Horford thing, that one I'm not too sure who I would prefer, because somebody asked me that a while ago. Stewart or Horford, I could not really. I was thinking so long about it. I really don't know what I would answer.
We talked about Stewart, and we feel that he's gonna bounce back or move his game to a different level later on. But the question is, when would that be, right?
Yeah, but by the time he does that, I think it's a time Horford will slow down a bit.
Yeah.
So maybe it's timing. But right now, if I'm gonna ask me Stewart or Horford, I'm still gonna go Stewart because I'm looking long term. I'm looking second half of the season.
As long as the stat or the number that you should look into Stewart is the minutes. As long as he gets the minutes, eventually he'll get those stats, right? As long as he gets the minutes, he'll get those stats. But if the minutes decline, then that's going to be a problem for Stewart owners.
Yes. And lastly on Horford, in our league, Horford was drafted after Mason Plumlee, after Kelly Olynyk,
after a lot,
after Wendell Carter Jr. And sadly, I picked twice. Wendell Carter Jr. and forgot who Mason Plumlee. I picked Plumlee over him. I was gonna pick Horford already, and then I decided.
In fairness, I think with Plumlee, you won't worry much about the health part, right? I mean, he hasn't been as good as Horford, but he hasn't been bad either. I mean, I think today he had 3 steals, 3 blocks. I think he had some good defensive stats today, or the other day.
Plumlee,
yeah.
The other day, I think.
Yeah, so he isn't as bad, right? So at least
he isn't as good as last year, though.
Yep, he isn't as good
as last year. So that's something also to consider.
Yeah, but at least the health part, you're gonna be worried more about Horford than Plumlee if you look at that aspect of their game. Harrison Barnes continues to be hot.
What number is he?
15th.
15th.
Today he played another good game as well.
Again, these are easy calls. They will not continue to be at that position. But like Miles Bridges, I think Harrison Barnes can get to the top 60. This time for Harrison Barnes, it's a 3 points. He's averaging 5 a game.
Yep.
If he averages 3 a game, which is easy for him, I think he can get to the top 60. But he's also another sell high guy, by the way. Yeah, I already told Jeremy about it, but Jeremy still believes that it's untradeable.
No, I know. I believe he's gonna be a sell high guy. You should be selling high on Harrison Barnes right now, because I think this is the peak value of Harrison Barnes. But like I said, it's not gonna be an easy sell for managers. Same with Horford. Like if you try to sell high on Horford, I don't think managers would bite immediately, right?
And we had a trade in one league. Al Horford was traded for Evan Fournier. So that
is it now or your league?
No, in another league.
Right, okay.
I'm just saying that Horford, even if he's playing this well, it's just Evan Fournier. His value is still just Evan Fournier.
Yeah, and Evan Fournier is playing well as well. So those guys like they're selling high on both. Them.
Yeah, I guess both of them are thinking
probably more of a positional trade. Like I needed a center, and you probably need a guard or a small forward, right? Spencer Dinwiddie, of course, with the absence of Bradley Beal, is currently ranked.
This is must sell high. Spencer Dinwiddie must sell high. This one I'm more adamant that I really believe Spencer Dinwiddie is overrated. He's an overrated player.
Really,
Fantasy wise,
even as a
ah,
starter, even as a
even as a
starter.
starter, fantasy wise, he was overdrafted and overrated. He's even worse because he doesn't have steals and his field goals not too good. Has kind of high turnover. So he's really points and assists. He's really points and assists. So this is really sell. This is really sell. Sell
Yeah.
fast.
Steph Curry, again, similar to last year. Last year, Steph
Yes.
Curry was what, top 30
Yes, top
early
30.
on,
Yeah. Yeah.
and only an injury slowed him down, and now he's top. He is at 27. Hot, you know, if you need threes, that's the guy, right? And efficient
Yes.
threes.
Yes. Efficient threes, but last year it was COVID that really stopped his hot
Momentum, yeah.
momentum, because when he came back from COVID, he was just lost. But even without COVID, I think Seth Curry usually has really long stretches of poor games, of
Yeah,
bad games, of invisible games actually. But when he's hot, he's hot. And right
yeah,
now he's hot. And then there's no Ben Simmons. That's a big difference from last year. There's
yep.
no Ben Simmons. So I think he can continue this until Ben Simmons gets traded. You
Uh,
you put him in packages. You put him in. You cannot trade Seth Curry 1-on-1. You cannot do that. You cannot get any value out of that. You add him. You add him to somebody else, and that will give the most value out of Seth Curry. I
yep.
think that's just my strategy.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the same strategy for the Al Horfords and the Harrison Barnes, right? You package them with another player, and then maybe that could work as a package
Horford,
trade.
yeah, but Horford I think has a standalone value because he's center. So
Yeah.
people will look at it. He's center, so it's easier to sell.
Yeah.
Compared to a point guard like Seth Curry.
Yeah. Steven Adams, 35. Probably the highest jumper from any of these players because
Yes.
he's been drafted, what, 140, 150? I think that's the range when he was being drafted.
And today, 14, 16, and 6 assists again for Steven Adams. So is that is this gonna be what it is for Steven Adams? He's averaging 4.8 assists this year. He's never averaged. His career is 1.2. He's averaging 4.8 in 3 games. So I think it's gonna go down. I think it's gonna go down.
It's gonna go down, but again, we have to watch a little more of the Memphis games because you know their top 5 or their starting 5 is really playing well, and they must be doing something right for those.
I have a
starting
question
5.
for you.
What?
Did you see Steven Adams get dropped in our league? In the FBW Invitational League? No, FBW Champions League, I think. Did you see him?
No, just now?
No, the other last week.
No, I didn't notice.
Exactly. I knew it. I
Who
picked
got
him
him
up there. Me. I was shocked he was dropped by Charles.
No,
actually.
but
Charles
that was
him.
But that was last week.
No, that was after game one. After the first game of, and I was shocked when I saw Steven Adams here. I said, "Oh, okay." And then I'll put a waiver on him, but I'm kind of low on the waiver priority. So I was shocked I got him. It means nobody wavered him. Maybe a lot of people did not see it also. That's why I was asking you if you saw it.
No, I didn't see it because I'm slow on adding players because of the
18 leagues.
Because of the number of leagues. So there are certain leagues. There are certain leagues that I really prioritize because they're money leagues and they're higher money leagues. So
this is the Champions League. Well, this Champions League is
no.
I
won in Champions League. I'm number 1 in Champions League at least after the first week.
Well, yeah,
right. So and I probably I don't think I could have dropped anyone there yet. So yeah. So I won Champions League. I won one. Hopefully, I continue to win there. Anyway, feel good players. We talked about Ja. We talked about Miles. We talked about Steven Adams and Al Horford. But the rookie who performed today was Jalen Green. We just talked about him the other day or yesterday. Was it yesterday or yesterday?
The other day. I think the other day.
Evan Mobley being the best rookie so far. Fantasy. But Jalen Green today tried to make his point or make his case, but just one game.
I'm confident he's not going to be the top rookie by the end. I'm confident with that because of Mobley. And because of Scotty Barnes, they're better than him fantasy wise. But 30 points and 8 rebounds today for Jalen Green.
No,
And
30 points, 8 threes,
eight threes.
4
Sorry,
rebounds,
eight
and 3
threes.
assists.
I do think that Jalen Green is like Jordan Poole. If he's hot, he's really good. It's gonna be really good. But if his shot doesn't fall, it's gonna be hard for him to help you in any other category.
Yep.
At this point of his career, I'm not saying he's not gonna improve, but at this point, his shot should fall. But if you own Jalen Green, at least it's better than owning Kevin Porter Jr., who had 8 turnovers again today.
So someone asked me a while ago in a 12-team league, no IL slots. Should he use his waiver on Kevin Porter Jr.? He is number 2 in the waiver. And I said, and I looked at the list. There were Desmond Baines there. There were other good players there. And I just told him that that turnovers is really a killer for Kevin Porter Jr. I mean, he's averaging 6.3 turnovers per game
in 8 cuts. Kevin Porter is better there. Kevin Porter's rankings will be way higher, but he's gonna be outside top 200 at this rate if he turns the ball over that much. Although hopefully he'll probably settle down and end up at around 5 turnovers a game.
5 is a lot.
No. Okay, let's make it around 4.
I was
4 points.
I was a little more optimistic. I was thinking, I think he'll probably settle at around 4.
Okay, maybe 4.
I think 4
4
would be the number, but he doesn't give too much yet to merit that 4. I mean, if he gives me like 12 assists maybe per game, or 10, at least average 10 assists per game, that'd be great. I'd take him probably even with the 4 turnovers, but no, he's not yet there.
I'll use a waiver on him if it's a deep league. Maybe 16
team, so
in a 12-team league, maybe not.
Yeah, and
maybe
I
not.
Unless
you have Russell Westbrook already, and the other high turnover guards, then you pick him. Just punt it. Just not disregard turnovers already at that point. So certain teams still can use Kevin Porter. He's gonna be better, but
it's gonna be better. But
our point was just Jalen Green is, I think, more promising compared to Kevin Porter Jr.
Yep. So yeah, those
and our boy Josh Giddey, our boy Josh Giddey finally showed up today.
Played well. Actually, even Shea played well. I think.
Surprisingly.
The FBW call-outs are still working. The OKC team played a little better today. Shea had 29. Giddey had, how many did
19. 19, 8, 7.
And 7, just 2 turnovers with 4 steals. Those are great numbers, right? So I think of all the OKC guys, those 2 are the must-own players.
The must-own.
Let's talk about some worry players. James Harden, once again, not bad, but not good.
Not top 3. Not top 3 material so far, James Harden. The assists, 8-point-something assists so far. It's good, but I think he can lead the league in assists. I don't know if you believe that, but I think he can.
He can.
I think he should. I think not can. Of course, we know he can. I think he should lead the league in assists.
No, it's
I think
hard to lead the league in assists with Trae Young there, but I think at least top 3. At least top 3.
At least double-digit assists. At least 10 to 11 assists. Give us 10 to 11 assists easily. And then the points, again, I'm surprised why it's kind of low, given that it's only Durant really that can score aside from him consistently. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the free throws. I wrote about it. It's only 4 attempts a game now compared to before when he was in Houston. 9, 10, 11 attempts a game. Mm-hmm. So that's big. That's 6 points right away. So maybe the new foul rule is affecting him somehow. So let's see.
So are you worried about James Harden?
Not yet. I just have a long history with Harden. No, not to doubt James Harden. He's gonna bounce back hopefully. Well, last year, even if he was so fat, he still performed decently when he was not injured. So I think this year that he's in shape, he's gonna get there. Maybe he's just adjusting to the calls and to the team.
That's
so
the somehow the team is new. Some players are new. A lot of new players. The rotations are different as well.
Yes.
Like they used to start Bruce Brown there. Blake used to start, right? And they also had DeAndre Jordan there before. I mean, there are a lot of things that changed as well. So hopefully he gets it going in the coming weeks. Kemba Walker,
Um, I
still
would,
the minutes.
and Derek Rose is ending games over him, closing games over him.
Yep.
I was I thought he was a sleeper in the start of the draft season because he was around 80 to 90, and he ended the season last year well with Boston.
Yep. He did.
So I must admit I think I'm wrong with Kemba. Tibbs seems to like Derek Rose really more than him.
The favorite, right?
The favorite.
That's Tibbs' legacy.
The best man in Derek Rose's wedding, by the way.
Is Tibbs?
Yes, Tibbs will be the best man in Derek Rose. So I guess if you're the best man, like Rose will say, "Come on, you gotta play me, right? I made you my best man." So I
best
think
man.
So
is it
that's
Tibbs? What do you call this? A ninong material, Godfather material.
I don't think there's Godfather in the US.
All right.
There's no Godfather in the US. So I think it's best man and either I don't know what the other entourage are, but I think it's mostly like that. So making somebody your best man is already the biggest honor you can give someone.
Making somebody your best man is rewarding the minutes he gives you
yes.
on the court, right?
yes.
It's time to pay you back with all the minutes that you give me.
Kemba, not a drop, a hold, but low end.
A trade
low end.
for Kyrie. I just traded my Kemba for Kyrie.
Good. That's a good move. That's a good move. I would do that.
Even after losing the first week.
Yeah.
I went for it and see what happens there.
Do it. I think that's a good move.
So there, the Aaron Fox, another favorite of commish.
Yes.
Heading into this year.
Harrison Barnes' fault, man.
Harrison Barnes. Who else? Tyrese has been playing better after the first game.
Better, yes. Davion
Mitchell has been playing well. Today he played better, but doesn't mean that he's been playing really well over the past 3 games. But today he played better. So, and Buddy Hield has been deep as well. Yep,
they're deep. And Davion got 31 minutes today, and if they're gonna give Tyrese 30 something minutes also. So Fox, instead of 36, 37, sometimes goes to 33, 34, and sometimes if Davion is there, Davion is the one who's bringing down the ball. So a little adjustment there for Fox. I think he's still figuring things out. I'm not that worried, but I must say that I guess he's trending down, and Ja Morant is trending up. What Ja is doing now is what I think that the Aaron should be doing.
Yep.
And it just makes me think that if you own Ja, will I try to trade for Fox? Or if I own Fox, will I try to go for Ja? That's something I've been thinking the whole day, actually. Until now, I'm still thinking about it. Because I own a lot of Fox.
But well, we'll see. It's still, like we said, it's still a little early, and these are all-star caliber players who usually, finds the rhythm and makes, find a way to get it going. So the Aaron Fox. But for now, he's one of our worry players. We talked about Cal Anderson the other day, and I think,
he's a drop.
Yeah, he should be a drop. Even at 14, 16.
Maybe not yet.
Not 16. Yet on 16, but on the 14, I think. Yes. I've seen players like Bobby Portis in the 14 teams.
Yeah,
there are players there who can stream. You can stream, like maybe an Ish Smith if you need some assists and efficiencies. Right, Raul Neto has been playing a little better.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
So those are players that you might consider, and some of these players like Otto Porter, another player who played well today.
I think Otto Porter has overtaken Jelica or Bielitsa, however you pronounce his name. Bielitsa today, 9 minutes, I think. Could be matchup, could be whatever, but I don't think he's worth holding in leagues. Otto Porter gives them more versatility, more defensive stats. So if you want to roll with Otto Porter, then go ahead.
Yep,
can do that.
And who else? Davion Mitchell, like we said. Davion Mitchell has been getting minutes because he is probably the Kings' best defender.
Yeah, one of the best of the NBA, I think. Already. As a rookie.
So I think that's why they are using him a lot. Because to guard the best players on the other team.
I think he should be a 16-team guy. If he's getting 30 plus minutes, if he just shoots 2 threes a game and 1 steal a game, that's not bad already in 16 teams. So he will get stats by the just by the number of minutes he's playing. So I think he's gonna be better as the season goes along. Yeah. He's gonna improve. So I think 16 teams is okay.
As long as he gets the minutes, I think rookies like these will eventually get better.
Get it up, yeah.
And the body language as well and how hard they work. I think those are the things. I mean, these are small things, but in fantasy, it matters a bit because that's how you see if a player can move up or trend up, right? Eventually. And LaMarcus Aldridge, a pickup.
Sometimes game 1 he looks so bad, but so far 2 straight games of solid performance. So I think if you're really desperate for a big guy, 14 teams, I think you could pick him up. If you have a lot of injuries, maybe pick him up. 14 teams.
So LaMarcus Aldridge is another buy player. All right, so that's it.
One more guy, the last one. For me, one of the top pickups, Carmelo and Malik Monk. Carmelo and Malik Monk. Not only because of what they did today. I wrote about the schedule of the Lakers. They're against the Spurs, OKC twice, Houston twice, and Cleveland. That's their next 6 games. The G League tour.
Yeah.
The G League tour. So Russell Westbrook owners, you should be happy. He's gonna have a great run coming up, and I think Carmelo also. So there.
I had a look at the schedule, so maybe the schedule analyzer. So if you guys don't know, Commish posted the schedule for next week's or week 2, and the best schedule. The team with the best schedule is that Dallas Mavericks with 4 games on the quality game days. If you guys don't know, if you're new to the fantasy, the quality game days mean that these are the days wherein there are less games, right? Fewer games. So that means you have a little advantage if you have more players playing on that game because the non-quality game days would mean that everyone probably has the full roster.
Yes,
with them. So most likely you're on even footing when it comes to the number of games. So this is where you can make a difference if you get players with the quality game day. So Dallas have 4 games, all on quality game days, and then Detroit, Charlotte, Lakers, Utah, Brooklyn, Houston, Portland, and Denver have 3 quality days. So those are, you can check it out on the Facebook page to see which, in case you want to look into streaming players or those kinds of things. All right. Anything else, Tom?
Nope. That's it.
All right. So that's it for our daily quickie. So I hope it was helpful and I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you continue to listen to us every day. This week, we'll probably have the first weekly live Q&A. We're still fixing the schedule, probably on a Friday, as that's the time or day many of you guys want it over a Sunday or a weekend. So we'll probably arrange that either on a Thursday or on a Friday. We'll arrange that and we'll announce it on our Facebook page. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.